بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now the next thing is like, okay, DRBD elections is fine, but what conditions, based on what conditions the DRBD elections is going to start? Means what exactly they will see in order to decide the DRBD. So by default, they decide based on the priority value. So every interface have something called priority value, and the default priority value will be 1. And whichever the device is having the highest priority value, that will become the DR. And the router with the second highest priority value will become the BDR. So in our example, let's take an example. This is your topology, and assume these are the priority values what we have configured. And in this example, 200 is the highest. So that particular router D will become the DR. And the next highest is 100. So that will become the BDR. So if we compare with other values like 10, 1, 1. So the default election is done based on the priority value. And any router which is not a DR, BDR, as I said, it will become the DR other. So technically we call them as DR others. And what if there is a tie in the priority value? Because there is a possibility that all the routers may have the same priority value. Because if you don't make any changes, the default priority value will be 1, which means if you go with the default values, there will be a tie in the priority value. And in case if there is a tie in the priority value, the tiebreaker will be the router IDs. So the router is going to select, it says that, okay, whichever the router is having the highest router ID. Now the highest router ID means in terms of numbers, you have to see the first portion. If the first portion is same, see the second portion is same, see the third, or else fourth. So you cannot have same router IDs on two routers in the OSPF domain. Like in this example, I'm just using these router IDs like 4, 5, 6, 2, 3. So which is the highest? 6 is the highest. So the router F will become the DR because of the highest priority value, and the next highest is this one. So that will become the BDR. So there is no tie in the router IDs because you cannot use two routers with the same router IDs. That has to be unique. So this is how the elections are done. So the DR-BDR elections are done based on the priority value. And if there is a tie in the priority value, of course, highest value, if there's a tie in the priority value, it will automatically decide based on the router IDs. So we can change the priority values. We'll see that in the configuration section, probably more in detail. Like we can also change the priority values depending upon the requirement. But assuming we are going with the default values, the router ID will be the tiebreaker. And the next thing, let's see quickly, one more option. There are few options also we'll see before we go ahead and verify. Now, if the router is having the priority value of 0, that is never become a DR or BDR. Like in some networks, you may want a specific router should never become a DR. Like if you take an example, this is my head office, and I always want this router to be the DR, and other routers should be others, means they should never become a DR. Then we can go ahead and change the priority values to zeros. So when you say 0 means it will never become a DR or BDR, which means it is not eligible to do the elections. So in some scenarios, you just want these routers to be always other, and they should never take up the role of DR. In that scenarios, you can just change them to zeros. Like small branch offices, you want them to be the you don't want them to become a DR in any case because of the small routers. Now also the DR-BDR elections are non-preemptive. Now non-preemptive means, like in this example, let's say the router A becomes a DR and the router B becomes a BDR in my example. Remaining routers like C, D, E, F, they are others, let's say. And due to some reason, the router A interface goes down. Maybe the interface goes down, or maybe the router is rebooted, or whatever the case, or the router is down. So in that scenarios, automatically it is going to make this B router will become the DR, right? The backup becomes the DR, and any one router from this group, like in this case, the B becomes the DR, and let's say the C becomes the BDR. And let's say the A is back. Now A is back again. So maybe you can assume that the router is reloaded due to some reason. So the router is back, which is having a better priority value or the better router ID. But still A will be in the role of other only. So A is not going to become a DR immediately. So we call this as non-preempt. Opposite to STP, if you know the STP process, probably STP is preempt, which means if the root bridge goes down and if it comes back, again that will become the root bridge. But it's not like that. So it's like opposite to that one. If the A is back, A has to wait for its role. Now, wait for it means like, let's say if the B also goes down, then C will become the DR, right? And now the A will become the BDR because it is in the line. So probably it has to wait for the process. So that is what non-preempt behavior. So this is default. When a better router enters the subnet, no preemption of the existing DR BDR occurs, which means if you add any new router which is having a better router ID or the better priority value, that will not take the role of DR unless the existing DR and the BDR router fails. Okay, so if you want to force, there is an option like we can use an option of clear IP OSPF process, which we'll be using in our labs. Because if you want to force, then you can reset all the routers and tell that clear the process and do the re-election again. So you can do that. That is like forcing the router to do the re-election process or the complete process, disconnect the neighbors and connect them again. And one more thing, in the OSPF networks, as I discussed already, that the neighbor relationship between the DR and the other will go up to full stage, all the 7 stages. Like we know the 7 stages, like the down stage, initialize stage, two-way stage, and then start stage, exchange state, and then loading stage, and then full stage. So the process or the neighbor process between these two neighbors will go up to full. But whereas the neighbor relationship between the other and other will be only up to two-way, which means they go from down to initialize stage where they send and receive the hellos. And in the two-way stage, they become the neighbors, and there is no start, there is no exchange, loading or full stages occurs between these two routers. Now, the reason is simple, because other cannot send any update to other directly, so there is no point in doing these states. So that's the reason when you verify the neighborship, sometimes you'll see the neighborship is just shows you only two-way or full stages, depending upon the type of the neighbor again. And one more thing, like the DR and the other, there are two different multicast addresses used here. Like when other is sending an update to the DR, it will use 224.006. So that is a multicast address used by other to the DR. Means all the DR routers will listen on 224.006. And when the DR, of course the same thing, and when the DR is sending an update to any other router, it is going to send on 224.005. So there are two different multicast addresses used. One is DR listens on 224.006, means from other to DR is 6. And from DR to any other routers, when the updates are sent, it will be sent on 224.005 again.